John Cena, where do I even begin?
When John Cena was not on the show, it just felt empty.
I was in a household, only child, single mother, so like you kind of need that one person's like never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect.
We've gotten to that point now that when the first note of John Cena's entrance theme hits, you know you're in for something special.
Whether you booed him or cheered him, he's WWE's last big megastar.
If you were on the Cena suck side of the chance, I'm sorry, but that's a L.
He brings something to the table that nobody has been able to duplicate.
And that's why I miss John Cena. He just made everything special.
John wanted the best for everyone watching at home.
But I also enjoy the fact that John Cena did so much for the community outside of it.
The guy is just a good human being, a genuine human being, and that's what stands out for me the most with John Cena.
My name's John. Don't have any wrestling experience. I'm a big fan. Former football player. Just too small to keep on playing football. I've always loved wrestling. I finally got a chance to come down to school, so I want to try it out and see what it's all about.
Oh, now Prototype shows the power. Oh, Proto Bomb!
Wait a minute!
2, 3. That's it, folks.
Your winner of the match, Prototype.
Who would have thought that this young Prototype would become the legendary superstar that he is today? John Cena has become an iconic figure in the wrestling business. The children adore him, the ladies want him, and all the guys want to be him. Without John Cena, WWE just doesn't feel the same. I actually made a video about this a couple years ago, but I realized I'm not the only one who misses him.
John Cena is literally one of the greatest sports entertainers of all time. When you think about WWE, you think about John Cena. I remember watching WWE every week, and whenever there was a week when John Cena was not on the show, it just felt empty. I don't know if empty is the right word, but it just didn't feel the same. But I feel like my real appreciation for John Cena came during 2015 during the United States Championship Open Challenge. He was having banger after banger after banger, dude. Plus, how can you hate a guy that grants over 500 Make-A-Wishes?
John Cena, he carried the WWE like Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. For me, John Cena was my childhood hero. I don't read comics. I don't know anything about Superman, Batman, Ant-Man, whatever. I don't know anything about that. My battle of good and evil was John Cena versus Randy Orton. Bald-headed Randy Orton. He was legitimately like Superman. Bright colors. And, well, he didn't wear a cape, but he had jorts, and them jorts were magical. The one thing that fascinated me the most about Cena is that his arm is the circumference of a human head because he has that armband wrapped around it. I bought the same one. I tried to put it on and it fell off like a big skirt. It's like putting a pinky in a hula hoop. It doesn't fit, but his giant, massive arm just wrapped it around like it was nothing. I bet a lot of you watching this watch sports outside of wrestling. Yeah, sure you do. I know I barely do. So my LeBron James was John Cena. My Tom Brady was John Cena. My Serena Venus Williams was John Cena. I was in a household, only child, single mother. So like you kind of need that one person's like never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect. Like, I could use that. That's kind of motivational. Thank you, Jonathan. He's a full and through red, white, and blue role model for many children. And people that don't get to experience John Cena growing up, I feel bad for you. What did you watch growing up? John Cena, I miss you.
Craps, roll 7-Eleven, your motherfucking mic is redding. Yo, cause I be busting your face. I come straight out, motherfuckers, yo. Kick in the bass, kick in your face with my freaking brand new Reeboks. You couldn't shoot me if you was packing 3 Glocks. Yeah, that's right. What you gonna do, fight?
John Cena's road to success was initially met with shortcomings. So much so that WWE believed he wasn't the guy that could carry this company. They were going to fire him, and that is when the Prototype took a look at himself in the mirror and knew that he was the real deal. The Doctor of Thugonomics was then born, and he didn't play by the rules. John Cena took what he wanted, roasted people left and right, and even took a piss on Undertaker's grave. Despite portraying a villainous character in the squared circle, John Cena was one of the biggest baby faces outside of it.
We've gotten to that point now that when the first note of John Cena's entrance theme hits, you know you're in for something special. He's at that phase of his career that The Rock was in like the mid-2000s, where he's transcended wrestling. There's a lot of John Cena fans out there who have never actually seen a John Cena match because he has all these movies and TV shows and commercials, but his true passion lies in wrestling. So when John Cena comes back, you know it's gonna be so good. And it's so interesting to me that the people that were screaming, "John Cena sucks," the loudest, no matter how much you didn't like John Cena, the WWE on-screen character, it is impossible not to like and respect John Cena, the man. And John Cena has been so kind to me every time that I've interviewed him. But back in 2019, WrestleMania 35, New York City, I was the only interview that he did the entire weekend. He told me we had exactly 10 minutes because he had something right before and right after. So at the 10-minute mark of our interview, I went to start wrapping up. "Oh, John, thank you so much." And he grabs his phone out of his pocket, looks at it and goes, "No, we've still got some more time. Keep going." And I was like, "What? How much more time do we have?" He's like, "I'll let you know. Just keep going." I asked him a few more questions. Like 5 minutes later, I go to wrap it up again. He's like, "Oh, hold on a second." Grabs his phone out of his pocket again. "You know what? You've got time for one more question." I'm just blown away that he didn't need to do an interview with me at all. But the fact that he was so generous with his time is something that I will never, ever forget.
Now, you know what? When John Cena arrived in WWE, I absolutely loved him. He was no nonsense, had fire lines, and looked like a main eventer. Seriously, in school, my friends and I would crack up at his best lines. By far was his line calling out Lesnar back in the day. "I'm gonna hang your ass like a Christmas tree ornament."
I'll whack you more times than a masturbation tournament.
Now, come on. Whatever your age, you had to have a chuckle at that line. Cena was everything WWE wanted and more. He was idolized as a hero to young fans, put on stellar matches, my two favorites being Cena and Punk at Money in the Bank and Cena and Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam, two absolute classics. But you gotta understand, it was cool to hate him. But that's where my dumbass just didn't appreciate him enough. His character and presence is what's totally missing in today's WWE. Whether you booed him or cheered him, he's WWE's last big megastar. And that is by far a fact.
Hi, I'm Munya Chihuahua, and this is YouTube Reframe, the series that breaks down the skills you need for life online. I'll be joined by Uber Butler, Tegan Vincent.
Is the knee 100% for tomorrow night?
Get a shot of that. The knee is not 100%. You can look me right here. I have a torn MCL. It was questionable whether or not I could even go. But you know John Cena. He's a man of the people. I'm coming out and I'm fighting for everybody out there representing. Everybody throwing us up. They're about to see what it's about tomorrow night.
It was only a matter of time before John Cena won the heart of the WWE Universe. He fulfilled the role that was missing since Hulk Hogan, becoming the hero that we all needed. The children went around repeating his signature catchphrase, "Never give up." But the inspiration didn't just end there. John Cena encouraged the young generation to live by these three words: hustle, loyalty, and respect.
I think John Cena is the greatest WWE superstar of all time. Just look at his run, look what he's done, and hey, look at the championships that he's won. He's tied with Ric Flair, you know, that's pretty crazy. I think John Cena should break Ric Flair's record, but hey, that's just me. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks. I mean, hey, if you were on the Cena sucks side of the chance, I'm sorry, but that's a L. It was always let's go Cena from Yo Simply Better King. That's all I'm saying. Now, ever since Cena stepped onto the scene when he slapped the taste up out of Mr. Clean Kurt Angle's mouth, it was crazy, man. I knew John Cena was gonna be dope. And who can forget about John Cena snapping with the rapping? My man went from a traditional looking professional wrestler to an MC of the WWE. It's crazy, come on. How can you forget some of them bars? When he slapped Stephanie McMahon on the... But look, do you know how much of an impact John Cena had? Who can forget the spinner belt? That's all I'm saying. Who can forget the spinner belt? My man brought that into play. The US and the WWE. But on a real note, John Cena has always been one of my favorite WWE superstars ever. So like, yeah, this is pretty easy for me to hop on here and to gas him up a little bit because he's dope and he's always been dope. And like I said before, if you on the Cena suck side, damn, I called it. I said once Cena goes, people gonna miss him. People missing John Cena all of a sudden. I mean, you know, you need to appreciate appreciate people while they're here. And that's exactly what I did throughout the run of John Cena. So thank you, John Cena, for all of the memories, all the crazy bars, and the hustle, the loyalty, and the respect, sir. I appreciate you.
John Cena, where do I even begin? Cena, to this generation of kids that grew as he did, is so much more than just a figure on TV. He's an icon. We were drawn to his swag, we were drawn to his confidence, and we were just hooked. He became the franchise, and when I was a kid, when I started watching in 03 and 04, I just gravitated towards him. He grinded it out every single week through thick and thin. This dude just showed up to work. Doesn't matter if you cheered him or you booed him. That man dedicated his life to this business, and I think now finally people realize his true star power. As a kid, everything was John Cena. At home, at school, I remember in gym class when we picked pennies, I always had to get 54. I drew his spinners in art. We had handshakes that would finish off with "You Can't See Me's." His influence on me as a kid was maybe a little bit too much because I got in trouble for saying naughty words and doing inappropriate gestures. So every day I was in the office, but that's what connects me to John Cena. He was such a cool guy that I was willing to get in trouble to emulate him. So many memories. But there was also a time where being a Cena fan wasn't so cool. And now all these years later, here we are. He did everything he possibly could for this company, and now we miss him. For some of us, that's our MJ, that's our Brady, that's our Babe Ruth, that's the guy. Doesn't matter if we're in our 30s or in our 60s, when we see Cena, a smile will come to our face. The dude has given us so many memories. When that day comes where the final salute is made and the wristbands are left in the ring, you best believe we're gonna be bawling our eyes out. That, simply put, is our childhood.
Night in and night out, John Cena brought absolutely the best quality of ring competition that he could. He got so much better over time as well, because that dude always gave 100% of his effort. He always gave 100% in his promos. He always gave his absolute best for the product. John wanted the best for everyone watching at home. But now that, for the most part, the people that grew up with John Cena are now older, we can look back and reflect on the fact that John Cena is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the absolute, probably top tier WWE talents of all time. His run will never be duplicated again. And that's just a little bit of why I love John Cena.
As time passed, the kids who once loved John Cena eventually turned on him. While he still maintained a portion of his loyal audience, the boos grew, making him a polarizing figure. And so the famous chant was born: "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." It was only years later when he altered the trajectory of his career, regaining support from his biggest haters.
I've been asked to give my opinion on John Cena and why we miss John Cena, how we miss John Cena. I was never the biggest John Cena fan, ever. I hated John Cena. In fact, John Cena during the second portion of his career was somebody that I come to admire. I actually admired what John Cena was and what he brought to the table in WWE. It all starts with his United States Championship run in 2015. John Cena put his name and his value on the line against the mid-card of WWE, and everybody was better for it. That's what I miss about John Cena. John Cena then in 2015 and John Cena now, as we see him, continues to put the future of WWE on his back every single time he is there, and he has a mentality in which the future is most important. He realizes that there's nobody there right now, including your head of the table, that even hold a fucking candle to John Cena. Why do I miss John Cena? Because John Cena, every single time he is there, and he will continue to do that until his last ride off into the sunset, which I hope ends in his 17th World Championship. Yeah, I hated John Cena's first run. Now I'm singing a different tune because he's earned it. He's deserved it. John Cena is somebody that I look to when coming back to WWE television, and I get excited about because we know that he brings a level of importance to the show that is absolutely needed and sorely missing. He brings something to the table that nobody has been able to duplicate. Why do I miss John Cena? Because of those reasons.
It actually took me years to appreciate John Cena. You know, growing up, I was a Randy guy. All my relatives were cheering for John Cena, but I was a cool kid. I was cheering for Randy because he's a bad guy. And when I was a teenager, I was a CM Punk guy. Only years later, I actually realized that John Cena was that good. He deserved to be in that spot. I really started liking Cena when I felt like every match John Cena is in just felt special. That's when I realized we were wrong. There's a reason they call John Cena Big Match John. And I've also realized that John Cena was not only fun to love, he was really fun to hate. Like hating on John Cena, cheering for people that I wasn't supposed to cheer for. These are some of my favorite wrestling memories. Like you're trying to hate John Cena, but you actually know that you're probably wrong for doing that. In my opinion, John Cena was the face of professional wrestling. Having episodes of Monday Night Raw without John Cena just felt like episodes of a TV show without the main character. And that's why I miss John Cena. He just made everything special. So when John Cena left, you know, it was really hard to get used to, and you know, ever since then, it just never felt the same. The main character of a TV show left. And I know at this point, we're probably not gonna get John Cena being a full-timer anymore, but hopefully, we're gonna get at least one more run.
That's pretty cool.
This is what you gave him. He made sure that through my cancer journey, his mom, Cena says never give up. And I'm now cancer-free.
That's great. That's great.
And here we are in 2022. John Cena is in Hollywood. He's moved on. As much as we want to be selfish and have him stay in WWE forever, we can't limit his impact to just wrestling. John Cena has outgrown the WWE. It's time we allow him to spread his positivity, compassion, and empathy to a kid in need of a hero the same way when we needed one.
As a kid watching wrestling growing up, you kind of learn about some of the greatest to ever step foot in the ring. But there was one night specifically where I realized a new star was made. In fact, it's really funny when you think about it. This guy, he walks down to the ring with the worst attire that you could even imagine. And when he walks down to the ring, he actually loses his match. But what's crazy about it is just moments later, he gets confronted by my favorite wrestler of all time. He got the stamp of approval from The Undertaker. And that right there is when I realized WWE has created a new star. John Cena went from being a guy with the worst attire ever to becoming one of the biggest and most influential WWE superstars of all time. And what really made me enjoy John Cena was not only that he was a good wrestler, a good sports entertainer, a great character, but I also enjoyed the fact that John Cena did so much for the community outside of it. John Cena for sure was hands down one of the best. And, you know, he kind of did what he said he wouldn't do, and that was go Hollywood. But even that, for some reason, he always finds his way back, even at times when it's needed the most. And that is when I really realized that I really appreciated and missed John Cena. In fact, I wish he could come back for WrestleMania 39, but only time will tell.
John Cena is just a special individual. The guy gets it. The guy understood from the very, very beginning that he can make a massive difference to the people and their lives. And he did that through his Make-A-Wish campaigns, through his anti-bullying campaigns, and all the other community projects. That's what defines John Cena to me. He had an unbelievable WWE Hall of Fame career. Truly unbelievable from the very beginning, with the ruthless aggression all the way to his most recent run. But what always defines me is the positivity, the vibe, the spirit, and you always believed what John Cena had to say. The guy is just a good human being, a genuine human being, and that's what stands out for me the most with John Cena.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Deadman 1010. I am finally back doing videos. It's been a minute, but like I said, I'm finally back doing this thing. And as you obviously figured out from the video itself, yes, that was Plana Productions and basically his video on why we all miss John Cena in WWE. And you saw many YouTubers like
the Botch guy, WrestleMania, the Great One. Who else? Obviously, Plana himself. Who else was there? There was there was a bunch of different YouTubers that you saw there that you may recognize, and there was a bunch that I recognized too. But yeah, either way, they were saying their thoughts on Cena, and I'm about to do my own little 2 cents on it now. So, John Cena, where do you even begin? The guy's had an unbelievable career. 16-time champ, 5-time, 6-time, or whatever United States champion. He's probably won a tag team championship in his career. Probably, I don't know. What else has he won? He's won loads of titles. To be fair, he's a 2-time Royal Rumble winner. He's won the Money in the Bank. He's been around the block a hell of a lot of time. He's had amazing feuds with the likes of Edge, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, excluding the one from No Mercy 2017, because it was good, but Roman Reigns was kind of being peed on by John Cena during the whole build-up, because of his promo skills being kind of a bit bad. But point is, yeah. So excluding the 2017 feud with Roman Reigns was amazing. Of course, I'm talking about his latest feud, which was last summer. What else? His feud with AJ Styles was awesome. His feud with Daniel Bryan was great. Triple H was great. Randy Orton was spectacular. That went on for so damn long, but it was so damn great. His debut was great, even though he did kind of hit rock bottom afterwards, because he wasn't really doing an awful lot after that. And that was when he was, of course, the Prototype, which was when he was basically wearing generic ring attire, number God knows what. And yeah, so that was back in 2002. And yeah, that was when he debuted, which was on June 29th, and you will expect John Cena to return on that same day, 20 years later, come, the 29th, and it should be amazing. And hopefully he'll be facing Theory at some point soon after that, considering that Theory has been making hints on challenging Cena and kind of trying to mock his 20th anniversary celebration. But yeah, so expect that. Obviously, that'll obviously be happening, I assume. That's been kind of the rumor sort of going around based on little things that have been heard here, there, and everywhere. So yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, so he made his debut then. He's done so many Make-A-Wishes, so many anti-bullying campaign stuff, truly amazing. Thanks to his never give up motto and everything, he's managed to get people cancer free. Like, the guy is just incredible. And of course he's now in Hollywood doing some great stuff there, in my opinion anyway. And of course he's what else? Of course there's all that, the Make-A-Wish and all these other things, and then his movie career. What else? His US title open challenge run was amazing, especially if you got to watch it when it actually happened, like I did. Coincidentally, that was back in 2015. And yeah, that run was amazing. Just banger match after banger match after banger match. And best part is, Cena was evolving with his ring style and everything So that meant that you were going to get fire matches out of the guy, no matter who he went against. Whether it was Kane, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Neville, who goes by Pac nowadays, Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, who quit the WWE in this year. Don't know what he's doing now, but whatever. Cesaro. What else? There was probably one of the New Day members at some point. I think it might have been Xavier Woods. Actually, no, it might have been Big E. But either way, like, there was them, but that was more after he lost the title at SummerSlam to Seth Rollins. But yeah, so there was that. There was thanks Jon Stewart, and then Seth cemented his legacy by becoming a double champion with the World Heavyweight and United States Championships. So yeah. Anyway, so that was that. There was what other opponents did he face during that reign? There was, well, I can't think of any other opponents, but you get what I mean. Dean Ambrose, there you go, there's another one, who's now Jon Moxley in AEW. And Neville is now Pac in AEW, for the record. But yeah, so there's that. So there's his US title Open Challenge run from 2015. That was friggin' amazing. Like, truly awesome. And what else is there? Ah, yes, his promos. His promos were goddamn amazing. Like, when John Cena was on that mic, like, he wanted to get you invested. It didn't matter who you were. Like, it didn't matter what time frame we were looking at. Like, if we were looking at, like, nowadays, if we were looking at the Ruthless Aggression era, like, it don't matter. No matter what era in time of those 20 years, mostly, of Cena's career, you will find a brilliant promo of his that gets you intrigued in whatever storyline it belongs to. So, yeah, that's how amazing he was at his promos and everything. And, like I said, wrestling ability was goddamn amazing. He's done incredible charity work. And, of course, he created the polarizing chant that still goes on to this day, by the way, whenever Cena makes his way into the building, mostly. And that is the "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks" chants. I was never really on the Cena sucks chants. I was always on the "Let's go Cena" chants, although I never really did mind saying Cena sucks because, well, it was the cool thing to do because it was funny. But yeah, so there was that. So yeah, he basically created that, and it's basically one of the most famous chants in wrestling, in my opinion. So, other than the yes chant from Daniel Bryan and some others. But yeah, so yeah, in my opinion. And what else? There is, what else is there? I'm running out of things to say about him, which is hard to believe because he's done so many great things. But then again, I'm kind of on the wire here. But yeah, so based on that, so yeah, so he recreated the chant of Cena sucks and "Let's go Cena." Sorry guys, I was just messaging Sammy. So yeah, so he recreated that chant, or not so much recreated it as much as he created it. And he was never afraid to put in new stars over whenever he wanted to, even though us fans created the whole situation of of the big golden shovel. Whenever he would bury talent, he would use a big golden shovel. That was always fun to say. The only other person that had kind of a golden shovel of that kind was Hunter, aka Triple H. But yeah, so yeah, there's also those memories that everybody, including myself, have been able to make out of Cena being in WWE for as long as he has been. So there's that. So yeah, so there's that. I was also messaging Sammy again, guys, that's why I stopped. So yeah, there's that, and what else is there? I'm just trying to think now, off the top of my head. I feel like that generally covers it in sort of a summary of sort, but yeah. All I will say at this stage is, yeah, thank you, John Cena, for everything that you've ever done in your life, whether it's in wrestling or throughout the community stuff that you've done, because thanks to this guy, thanks to John Cena, the WWE was saved. Like, without John Cena, WWE would not be where it is today. Wrestling would not be where it is today, because of the whole Chris Benoit tragedy that happened, that had the company going PG. Like John Cena literally saved the WWE during that time and whatnot, literally. So for that, he, well, one is one of my favorites of all time, but not just for that, obviously, in wrestling, and he's also one of the greatest of all time in wrestling as well, for that same reason. So yeah, to go back to what I was obviously reiterating before, yeah, so yeah, John Cena's a legend. Hope he goes into the Hall of Fame. He is more than deserving of that prestigious honor. And yeah, so yeah, thank you, John Cena, for obviously all the memories and all the community work and everything that you've ever done for any of us wrestling fans across the globe, whether that's in the Ruthless Aggression era or now or in the PG era, or you know, anything like that. Like, just thank you. Like, cheers for the hustle, loyalty, and respect. That's all I have to say about Cena, and yeah, I hope when he retires that he gets to have a 17th World Heavyweight Championship not long before then, because that'll be a perfect way to cap off his career. So if he ever does choose to like hang up the jorts and everything completely. But yeah, so having said that, thank you, John Cena, and yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, fake videos. If we could get up to 60 likes, I believe that was our like goal before, I don't know, I assume it was, then that'll be great. And yeah, ciao guys.